We are going to go ahead and continue our media availabilities for this afternoon. We're now joined by Ross Chastain, driver of the #1 Advent Health Chevrolet for Trackhouse Racing. Thanks for joining us, Ross. We'll go right ahead and open it up for questions. If you have one, please raise your hand and we'll get a mic over to you. We'll start over here to the left and then go in the back to Mark.
Hi, Ross. Dalton Hoppy with FrontStretch.com. First off, have you seen any of the memes that have come out this past weekend on Twitter of like your car just being photoshopped into images and the hashtag blame Ross or thanks Ross?
Yeah. I've looked at all of them or as much as I could. It's some awesome, some not so awesome, but a lot of fun looking through all that. It's I got a lot of good laughs out of it.
And also, of course, what was your reaction to Denny Hamlin's penalty being upheld by the appeals board?
That doesn't really involve me. I don't really have an opinion on it, so not really my deal.
We'll go to Mark and then over here to Dustin.
Mark Garrow, PRN. I've got two questions. Ross, how do you deal with, Christopher Belgaz gets out of the car, calls you a wrecking ball, and the next second, later, he really didn't do anything wrong out of his mouth. How do you deal with a guy saying that and then saying, no, it wasn't your fault? You just seem to be always tagged with things that maybe you shouldn't be.
Yeah, Mark, I do think looking at it, trying to be as real looking at this whole situation as I can be, I do think it's easy for a lot of good reasons for guys to point the finger at me very easily and just assume that I'm at fault. But I do think that we should probably, as race car drivers, hold ourselves to a little higher standard and maybe put in a little more effort to get the full story when we get out of the car, ask for a video. I do that with my group. Even as something as silly and simple as Martinsville last fall, I asked to see it. But we can also get information during the race, and I think that spotters and crew chiefs and whoever is talking to us can tell us honestly what happened from their point of view, not biased as we all are. But then again, I want Phil Surgeon and Brandon McReynolds to be the most biased guys in the whole facility here at Bristol this weekend and be on my side and back me up no matter what. But I think that there can be a lot more of facts given to us as drivers. We're probably self-appointed, alphas in our groups where we're always right. When we say the car's tight, the car's tight. And if your crew chief believes you, then he's going to loosen the car up. And that's kind of a whole spin-off, but I think that we could just do a better job of holding ourselves accountable to finding out all the facts before we go say stuff on cameras and microphones that, we have opportunity to get to quicker than we actually have opportunity to get to the facts.
And my other question is just looking just a tad ahead to Talladega, that win last year. What did that victory mean? And when you think of the last lap or laps there that led to that, what do you think about, or what do you recall, or what jumps out at you?
Yeah, just an incredible career changing win to win at one of the super speedways. It's just such a crazy lottery to get it done. And thought I would have to pay a lot more dues, and we'll probably have to pay even more dues now and pay it back for many years to come to get another one. But I really remember speeding on pit road, getting freaked out and squirting the gas with a car exiting his stall to my left, and then trying to get the lucky dog and making a very crazy move to try to split the pack up and get the lucky dog and then fight back up there. And then at the end, I just remember them all turning right, like one after another. They just kept pulling to the outside lane, and I just stayed on the bottom.
We'll go to Dustin and then to Dustin over here and then back here to Zach.
Dustin Albino, J-Ski. Ross, Carson Hocevar obviously looks at you as a mentor. He got the win last week. How have you kind of seen him evolve over the last few years?
Yeah, a lot. I've seen a lot. I got to know Carson early on when he came to Nice from Jordan's team, and he's somebody that Al and Cody believed in early on, and with a little bit of sponsorship, they've raced him for 2 years, and then coming into this year for Worldwide Express to come on full-time on his truck and take every race, as well as the 41 truck that I split with several other drivers. It was, I can remember, I know every step along the way, and from talking about race trucks to pitching him to Worldwide Express and Rob Rose in his motorhome at Martinsville a couple years ago, or I guess a year ago. And initially Worldwide saying no, and then going back to him and fighting, Nice fighting some more, and me helping where I could, right? And just my opinion, I thought they should get behind him early and support him. So, more on the, we have equal conversations about business as we do about racing. And he doesn't need my help driving a race truck fast. That's came natural to him. It's hopefully helping these younger guys with what not to do. They're going to have a lot of decisions in their life and in their career. And if they're around long enough, they're going to make the wrong decision a lot. And it's okay as long as you keep going. So for Carson, it's just been about, for me, trying to help him minimize those mistakes, whether it be on the racetrack for sure. But on Tuesday at 10 a.m., you can make an equal bad decision, and just trying to surround him with good people that help mitigate those mistakes. And then going fast, he's pretty much got that, and he's got a good group around him helping him go fast. I don't have a whole lot to say there, other than when I'm driving the truck, it's really good to bounce ideas off each other.
We'll go to Dustin and then over here to Zach.
To your right, Dustin Long, NBC Sports. A couple things, Ross. In terms of what Christopher Bell said last week, and he did later retract it on social media, but did he reach out to you, or do you wish or hope that he reaches out to you and apologizes personally as opposed to on social media?
I don't really have a thought on if he should or shouldn't. That's up for him. But from what I saw, he didn't apologize to me. He's apologized to Williams. So no hard feelings here. Just if you want to say something to me, say it to me. Not always. I was standing right over to his side, so I'm around.
Also, with the draw for the heat races, you're last in your heat race. So, is this one of these times where drawing last is better than drawing on the pole? Do you feel like this is as good of a draw with the passing points potential, or would you rather draw on the pole and not have to worry about passing points?
I don't really know what would be the best. I feel like I'm starting south of town in Johnson City, so I feel like I have a really stacked heat race just looking at it. I would definitely, if I could choose, would probably choose a different one. I think I count 6 dirt racers and 4 of us that are not true dirt racers, so I'll probably get to learn the most though. So if nothing else, I'll get to learn and watch and see what these guys, like Kyle was saying before I jumped up here, it's so hard just not to spin out, even on the apron, up on the banking. I have so much to learn, so I just mainly want to finish the race tomorrow night. I haven't finished one of these yet for various reasons, and we roll across on the last lap across the checkered flag. That's goal number 1. The heat race, not really too worried about where we start.
All right, we're going to take 2 more questions. We've got Zach over here to the left, and then here in the middle to Ben.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. Ross, I guess going back to kind of the fallout from last week, has it been difficult as you've navigated the last kind of year and a half of kind of getting this reputation of being the scapegoat, where guys kind of point the finger? Do you pay any mind to it once you leave the racetrack, or is it just a done deal as soon as you get out of the race car?
So what's so crazy is we got out, and one of my guys jokingly said, "What's Christopher what are they going to say about you? What's the 20 going to say about you?" And we laughed because we didn't think anything. And then we hear about it a couple minutes later, and we were jaws on the ground on the pit road there. And so it caught us completely by surprise that we would get blamed for that. But tying it all together to the last year and a half or whatever, or my entire career, I mean, last week that's nothing. That's easy. I think the only person that had more fun looking at those memes was Tyler Reddick. So I think he had a lot of fun watching that stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what are your thoughts on all the memes on Twitter this week? Have you enjoyed them as much as me?
Well, which one's your burner account that you were posting on?
No, I've just purely been a spectator.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and wrap up with Ben. Go ahead, Ben.
Ross, Ben White with the Fayetteville Observer. I asked Kyle this too. From a little bit different perspective, talking a few weeks ahead to the Coke 600, I think if I've counted right, you've had 5 starts in the Coke 600. I think I've counted right. So, with that said, how hard is it for you as a relatively new driver to get used to 600 miles at Charlotte? I mean, it's a lot to ask to 400 laps, 600 miles. What do you have to do to get ready for that? Because it's a long way for you, even though it's at night. It's a long way mentally and physically. Would you say?
It is. Yeah, the World 600 last year and the Southern 500 were 2 races last year that hurt the most that we lost. I thought we had real opportunities to win both of those, which is just an incredible thought that we have opportunities to win those iconic races in the sport. I don't do much different though to prepare. It's going to be painful physically a little bit. It's going to be mentally taxing. But you talk about those, if it's 5, it's probably in that. I think it's in that ballpark there. Those first 2 with Premium Motorsports and Jay Robinson were a whole lot harder than it's been the last 2 with CGR and Trackhouse. It's a whole lot easier to run 600 miles in a fast car. It's a whole lot harder to run 600 miles or 588 miles in a slow car. Look, those races with Jay was so much about just getting to the next caution, getting to the next stage break, hoping someone crashed or blew up or whatever, and there was tires laying on pit road that we could buy at half price. And we'd run some of those stints on scuffs, and then something would happen, and Jay would come on the radio and, hey, buddy, we got stickers. We're getting ready to pass some cars. And just mitigating the laps down, trying to manage those races was so mentally challenging, knowing that Jay did not and could not afford for us to be crashing cars, where now it's about going fast and winning races. So those laps and those years still have molded me into who I am today. So I can say it's a lot harder to be a slow car in the World 600 than it is to be a fast one like I'm in now.
All right. Thanks, Ross. That'll wrap it up. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
For those media who are in here, we have all